Your car's 100%. It looks like the rear wheel was damaged. The numbers don't make sense. It is completely impossible for them to make money on this car. Hi everyone, welcome to the vlog. I'm Sean, this is Dream Cars Daily, and today we're going to talk about my Ferrari. One of my subscribers got a hold of me and told me that it is currently for sale at a dealership in Florida, and they're saying it's completely repaired. Some other subscribers got a hold of me, said they saw it on its way down to Florida. These people bought this car for about $52,000 from auction. Ferrari was saying it needed over $60,000 worth of work. So I'm figuring this company owned the car for $52,000, had to get it down to Florida and then repair it, and they now have it for sale less than a week later for 60 grand. There's no way they fixed that car. There's no way everything is completely fixed. So I'm gonna call them and find out a little more about the car. I can't record their end of the conversation. I can record mine and we can go from there. I'm not sure, legally without telling them I'm recording, I can't do it, but I can record my end of the conversation, maybe repeat some of the things that they say to me. I just want to get an idea of how badly they're trying to burn somebody. I know at a minimum, the car needed upper and lower control arms and rear shocks, which is over $10,000 to do. I don't see how they have this car for sale for 60 grand. It makes no sense. It literally has one more mile on it than when I bought it, so they obviously haven't road tested it. I mean, whatever they did do to it, I mean, they haven't done any shakedown testing to make sure the car's good or safe or anything. So the way I figure it, I looked at the numbers on this thing and thought about, whether or not it was worth buying back, if I even could buy it back. And I figured I had to be into the car for 40 to be able to do all the work myself. And that would have even been cutting a few corners. That wouldn't have been replacing the bumpers. That would have been repairing the bumpers. And then there was still unknowns with the front suspension. There's all kinds of things that could have been wrong with this car that were unforeseen. So for me, I would have had to be into it for 40. I would have put 10 into it. It would have been $50,000 when it was done with. It's roughly an $80-ish thousand car, but the accident on the Carfax is going to take about 20 to 25% of that value away. So it's a $60,000 car. And if you're going to put that much time and effort into it, there has to be some value in it. So for 40 grand plus 10, I would have been in it for 50. I would have owned the car for 50 and had 10 grand in equity, essentially. Now, somebody buying this car at 60 grand, not only are they not going to have equity, but I honestly think it needs another $10,000 to $15,000 worth of work after they buy it. So let me make a phone call and we're going to find out. So I'm using the Cars for Sale website, STS Automotive in Miami, Florida, and we're going to call. Call could be monitored or recorded. All right, one for sales. Hello, I'm calling about the black Ferrari California that's for sale. I found it on carsforsale.com. Oh, it's still available. Okay, can you tell me, what can you tell me about the car? You show some older photos. The car's 100%. I was looking in the old pictures. You have like the historical photos or whatever. It looks like the rear wheel was damaged. What was wrong with it? It was what? The differential? Okay, and that's all fixed. Okay. And why is the car so cheap? Why is it so cheap? I think it's almost like an $85,000 or $90,000 car, right? Okay, so, and you said it's a clean title, so does that mean I should be able to, it says no financing, but I can go get a loan from my bank, right? Okay. Because I think like if you have a salvage title car, you can't get a loan from your own, like most banks won't write a loan for that, but you said it's clean. Okay. And is it something, I know, typically when you buy a high-end car like this, you should have a pre-purchase inspection. Is there a, I'm not from your area, I'm just wondering, is there like a Ferrari dealer near you that we could have look at it? Okay. Perfect. Yeah, and then do you guys do any sort of shipping or anything? Is that something that could be shipped to me? Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's a really good looking car. I just thought yeah, I should probably have somebody come over and look at it because I'm pretty far away and I can't just come over. I'm about 1,000 miles from you, so it's you're definitely not right around the corner for me. Okay, thank you so much. All right. Well, that gave us some answers for sure. It is completely fixed. There is nothing wrong with it at all. So he says. The only thing that was wrong with it was the differential, and they fixed that. But the differential wasn't a problem. The rear suspension was the problem, and the bent wheel, which it is very obvious they didn't replace because it's still the same wheel. They would have had to have ordered a wheel from Symbolo X and then had it color matched because my wheels were a different color than you can even purchase from them. And you're not even going to get a wheel shipped to your door in a week, let alone have it shipped and then color matched. And no, so that wheel is bent, and it was bent beyond repair. I know there are places that can repair them, but that wheel wasn't really repair. I mean, I guess anything's repairable, but no. So without seeing the car, I would be deathly afraid of what they did to it. I have heard stories, I don't know for sure, and I'm not accusing them of doing this, but I've heard stories of people literally like welding control arms. The lower control arm was busted, the upper control arm was bent. Those two absolutely had to be replaced. That shock was collapsed too. Those shocks are $5,000 a piece. If they own that car for $52,000 and they're selling it for $60,000, obviously they need to make a profit. Impossible. Absolutely impossible that they did $10,000 worth of suspension work, that they replaced both the front and the rear bumper cover that are, $5,000 to $7,000 a piece, and that they sorted everything. So if you guys are watching this video, don't go buy my car. That's all I can tell you. Whoever buys it is going to get burned pretty badly, and I feel awful about that. The person who contacted me ran it through VinWiki, and they found me through VinWiki. And by the way, VinWiki is a great website for cars like this because this guy, he was ready to jump on the car at 60 grand because it seems like such a good deal. It's so far below value. And he was going to jump on it. He was just going to grab the car, 60 grand, all right, ship it out, man, let's go. And that's kind of what they were just encouraging me to do on the phone. Well, you're far away, you don't have to send somebody, we can just take care of the transaction and send it to you. Yeah, and then I'm going to have a $60,000 car that needs $15,000 worth of work and is worth 60 grand. That's a bad day. And unfortunately, there are dealerships out there that prey on people, and yeah, he was telling me, well, that's why we sell a lot of cars, because our prices are so good, we sell a bunch of cars. I get the feeling that you sell a bunch of cars that are half repaired or not even repaired at all, and a bunch of people end up burned on supercars that need astronomical amounts of work. I don't know. It's a terrible way to make a living, taking advantage of people, and I guess this is another example of why you always do your research before you buy a car. There are websites like VinWiki that you can go back and look through the history, check Carfax, AutoCheck. All of these companies are there for a reason, and they provide a great service to make sure that you don't end up with this car in less than perfect condition. So anyway, I just had to do this, or I didn't have to do it, but I felt like I needed to do this. I wanted to know how they were portraying the car. I wanted to know if somebody was truly going to get burned, which I didn't see any way they weren't going to. Like, I mean, it was kind of a foregone conclusion to me because the numbers don't make sense. If you can do math, you can figure out that $52,000 plus, at a minimum, at a minimum $10,000 doesn't add up to being able to sell that car for 60 grand and make a profit. I'm sure at the most, they put a tire on it and maybe a lower control arm, maybe an upper control arm, and that's it. And they're calling it completely fixed. But they've also got detailing money in there too. They had to peel the whole wrap off of it. I mean, that's a few $100s, plus have it detailed. I don't know how these people are making money, or if you're gonna get there and they're gonna try and jack the price up on you and add in all these other fees. I don't know. I'm pretty lost, but the numbers don't make sense. It is completely impossible for them to make money on this car and have it fixed the way they say it is. So again, don't buy my car. You don't want it, not at that price. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, throw me a like, and I'll see you next video.